Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Happy Mother's Day. So, today is a really special day for me because I am a mom of two, almost three, and well, I guess two and a half, or two, one in the oven, however you want to say it. And it's really exciting for me to be able to celebrate Mother's Day because I do realize how much of a blessing it is and what a miracle it is to actually have babies and have the privilege and the honor to be a mom. Um, so I just want to take a moment right now to share with you a little bit about the truth about being a mom. So the first thing is that it truly is such a blessing and miracle, and I know that um, having gotten pregnant so close to my second child being born, I was actually terrified and um, after a little bit of digestion, I realized this is the most amazing blessing of all time, and I should be thankful as opposed to, like, I understand it is normal to be scared, but I'm so thankful that I have this blessing because I know it's really hard for many people to get pregnant, to have children. For some people, it's I don't know if it's not a possibility or if it's not a possibility in the present time. Um, but I know that a lot of people struggle with getting pregnant and having children or staying pregnant. Um, I mean, I had a miscarriage and I know how devastating that was for me. And I know people who suffer from depression from miscarriages or difficulty getting pregnant. And it's honestly become such a big issue in our world today. And I just wanted to bring light to it and acknowledge it and talk about it a little bit because I know so many people right now who are going through working so hard to be able to have this miracle. And I pray for them to be able to have this incredible gift because it really is the most amazing blessing. The truth is that each of my children, so far two, but even just in being pregnant this third time, I guess fourth time, um, it's really brought me so much closer to identifying my true self for me to learn about myself and really get to know the real me, the me that's been inside of here my whole life. You know, I've realized that I've kind of been hiding parts of myself and not being necessarily true to me all the time. And it's like my daughter and then my son and now this pregnancy is just not letting me do that anymore and is really opening my eyes to myself and allowing me the gift of appreciating and loving myself, which is a really, really difficult thing that I've been working on and that I've had to learn. So I really appreciate that. And I know that, you know, I'm wearing a shirt that says Mom Life is the best life, and it really is. It is a hard life. It is a tiring life. It is a sleepless life. It is a life of guilt and of doubt and of always wondering, are you doing the right thing? Or could you possibly be doing more, which you always think you could possibly be doing more or better. Um, but it is the most amazing gift. And I wish it for everyone who wants to have children, everyone who dreams to have children, everyone who's trying to have children. I wish you this blessing. I wish you this incredible gift that, yes, is hard, but is so amazing. The truth is that my kids light up my whole world. They, every little thing that they do amazes me. It's like I'm watching the world through someone else's eyes, but who's discovering the whole world for the first time. So I remember taking my daughter out for a walk when she was a baby and noticing how the wind made the leaves blow, or how the sunshine would peek through the clouds, and how she would notice the butterfly go by. Every flower, she picks up a piece of gravel and says, "Mommy, what's this?" And I say, it's a rock, it's a piece of gravel. And everything is new and exciting. She watches the ants go marching. She watches the ladybug land on her swing. And it's so exciting to her. And it brings so much more light and love and life to my life. And these are all things that I naturally try to pay attention to because I love nature and I love learning. And through working with children in general, I feel like I get the honor and privilege of doing this. But when it comes through your own children's eyes and through their mouth and through their love and their excitement, it's a whole other experience. It's just, it's like, I mean, I guess you'll hear me use this word a lot, and I think I'm going to have to trademark this word somehow, but it's magic. It's like your whole soul lights up and feels so present and is like, this is what life is about. This is what real life is about. Yeah, we all go through our struggles and like, yeah, my daughter will throw a tantrum and I'll sit there as a mom and try to think, what do I need to do to make this end, or how do I teach her the appropriate way to respond as a behavior analyst? It's obviously how I think. But that it's not those moments that are critical. It's those other moments that are so critical, that are so beautiful, where the ladybug lands on her swing and she says, "Mommy, look, a ladybug." And then we watch it, and it's a whole other life form that she's attending to, and that's the magic of life. And that's something that my kids have taught me. And honestly, working with kids in general has also been um, that kind of blessing in my life, and it's so nice. Um, but on the reverse side of the truths of being a mom, there's all this self judgment and guilt that I also live with, where, those times when I have to ask my nanny to take my daughter somewhere instead of me. And then I sit and I'm doing work, or I have to go to a client, or a time that I say something where I react in a way that I feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said that. And then I hold that inside and all this guilt, because I know that I'm shaping this person, and I'm hoping that I'm shaping her to be the best possible human, to reach her the highest potential, for her to feel that she is loved and know that she is loved always. And not only her, like, I want all my children to feel that way. I want all the kids that I work with to feel that way. I want all the kids in the world to feel that way. I want every human in the world to feel that way, to know that they are loved unconditionally, to know that they are worthy of love, and that they can do anything, and that anyone who puts an obstacle in front of them, that they can just jump over that obstacle and they can be whatever or whoever it is that they are truly meant to be. Um, Another truth about motherhood that I think is, I guess, closer to the ugly side than the bright and beautiful and magical side is postpartum. And I think it's really important to touch on that. I never suffered from severe postpartum, but I definitely suffered from postpartum. And I remember with my first child, no one ever really spoke about that. And having been someone who studied mental health and thinks it's so important for everything to be transparent, especially about mental health, um, I spoke to people about it. And I was crying for no reason. And I remember having to tell my husband, like, I'm not crying because I don't love her, because I'm sad that she's here. I'm not crying because I don't want her. I'm just so sad. And it's a humongous transition. And I think that for most people, change is hard. And to bring a child into this world and then have to take care of it is a gigantic transition. And as amazing and magical and wonderful as it is, there's no joke that postpartum is a big part of that. And some people, I think, only experience parts of it, where they only experience the hormonal transition, whereas some people experience a full-blown depression, and for some of them it lasts a long time. And I think it's important for people to know that that is absolutely normal and happens to so many people. I know that for me, it wasn't for so long, but I remember speaking to a nurse who came to the house after my daughter was born, and she said to me, if it lasts longer than, I don't remember the exact number, 2 months or a certain amount of weeks, she said, then I would recommend seeking help. And I remember thinking, okay, I need to keep my eye on that, because I don't want it to get out of hand. I know postpartum can get so severe that women harm themselves or their babies or both together. And it's just such a taboo subject that a lot of people haven't spoken about, and I think is really important. And I think that if you right now, or maybe not you right now, but maybe at some point in the future you'll have a child, or someone you know has a child and you see these things, speak to them openly about it. Allow them to understand that this is totally normal. But if it gets to a point where it doesn't go away, you need to get help so that you can feel better, because that is possible. And, depression is a horrible, ugly, dark place to be. And when you're taking care of a new life and you are trying to also adjust to your new life and to your body and to all the changes and to lack of sleep and etc., 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 like it's a lot to take in. So husbands, fathers, boyfriends, mothers, uh, caregivers in a house, if you, or even friends or family of someone who just had a baby, be sensitive to this and just be aware that yes, motherhood is a blessing and amazing, but there are other parts of it that we need to be sensitive to, and there are ways that we can help just through understanding. And I know that there are people in my life who suffered from some postpartum, and I identified it for them. Like, I noticed that you've been down a lot and that you've been triggered in these ways, and I just want you to keep an eye on it and try to do something for yourself. Try to take time for yourself. Try to get, your husband to watch the baby while you go for a walk, or go for a walk with the baby, or come to my house, or call me, or, offer support so that they're taking time to take care of their own mental health and their own health as well. Because becoming a mom, your shift in focus really goes right to the baby. And often we stop taking care of ourselves. Like don't necessarily eat, and we don't necessarily sleep, or even think that we should be. Like, I know for me, I feel guilty if I'm sleeping and my husband has to get up, or my mom when my son was born, or my nanny if I had to nap during the day, which I very rarely did. And I didn't nap because I was stubborn and felt guilty. And that's not something that I should, because I'm a human being and I have needs as well. And I should be trying to meet my own needs while also meeting the needs of my children and the other people around me. And I think that's part of my learning curve in being a mom. But something really important that I wanted to touch on, especially this being Mother's Day, was when my daughter was born and my mom was with me in the hospital. I'm going to try not to cry. I watched my mom rock my daughter and sing to her. Oh boy, in that moment, I saw me in her arms, and I thought, wow, I got a glimpse into the past and what I must mean to my own mom, and what a blessing I was to my mom, and how much she could possibly love me. I mean, my child at that point was like a day old. She was like a day old, and I loved her more than anything. I've been my mom's daughter for 30 plus years. And like, she's watched me grow and become this woman, and then she watched me have a child, and she's holding her daughter's child, and it just really made me appreciate my mom in a whole new way. And everything that she did for me that I obviously don't even remember her doing, like sitting there rocking and singing me songs so that I could calm down and go to sleep, which is a part of my childhood that I obviously cannot remember. But I can remember all these other things, like the way she would put her hands on me to calm me down, or lie with me if I couldn't sleep, or scratch my back, or listen to me when I was sad or stressed or excited, how she would cheer me on when I would be dancing. Even as I was older, I remember getting on stage as an adult and hearing my mom go, "Whoa, go Frances!" And I was like, oh my God, that's my mom. But not oh my God, because when my daughter gets on stage one day, or when she does something amazing, I'm going to be cheering her on too. When my son gets on the on the field or on the ice or on the stage or whatever he's going to do, or when he stands up and does a presentation, or when he tells me that he's proud of something, I'm going to cheer because I already do that and they're so young, every little thing that they do. So, um, and I remember my mom saying when I was younger, you won't understand until you have your own kids. And that's partially true because I really do have a much deeper appreciation for my mom having my own kids now. I think I did okay not crying. I tried really hard not to cry. Um, but I remember sitting in that hospital bed and being home and watching her and just like bawling, bawling and being like, wow, I can't even help it. And like certain songs I would sing to my daughter would make me cry. Part of postpartum, part of the appreciation for my mom, part of probably me remembering her sing that, but not in a memory that I can access, but more the song triggering an emotion inside of me, which is also so amazing. Such an amazing part of being a mom is being able to understand your own mother in a new way. And I remember my husband saying that too, is once he became a parent, he understood his parents in a whole new way. And I think a lot of us do, especially the first time around. You're just like, wow, all these things you did for me. And like, you know that they do them, you know that your parents take care of you and that they do all these things. But when you're actually physically and emotionally and mentally there doing it, you're like, wow, all these things that you did for me. And I don't think I ever said thank you or realized how much I appreciate it. And so many times I turned to my mom and I just like cried and I said, thank you for all that you did for me and all that you're doing now. Like, you know, when my son was born, he was a few weeks old and he got sick, and my mom slept with me on the couch and took turns. Like I would feed him and then she would walk him back to sleep because he had to be held upright to sleep because he was so congested he couldn't lie down flat. And she would have him sleep on her, or she would, you know, and all those things I really appreciate. And, you know, it makes you think about the people that you love and their moms and what they did for them. And, you know, not every mom is the same. And, but they all gave us life and a piece of them and their heart. And so there's something really magical and such a huge blessing in that. So I wanted to touch on that. Another topic that is not on the, I guess, sunshine and rainbows of children is in this past year, I know a family who lost children. And in a few years before that, I know another family that lost a child, and I hear about it. But those particular two cases are close to my heart. And to say that I know what to say about that is a huge stretch. But to say that that is the most terrifying and horrible thing any single human would have to even imagine, let alone experience, I think is still an understatement. And I wish I could just put my hands on these people that I care so much about and just take all their pain away. And it's a really hard part of, it's a sad truth that some people have to live in parenthood and motherhood. And not only motherhood, fatherhood. And I just wanted to touch on that because I think it's important not to forget that or those people who have lost a child that they love so deeply, whether that child was born and raised to be a teenager, or born and lived to be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10, or lost, you know, an infant, or lost a baby in a stillbirth, or lost a baby before it was born. My prayers are with you. My heart is with you. And I will keep reaching out to you, to the people that I know, and send my love and ask what it is that I can do, because I would love to do anything to help you, anything to ease any of that pain. Back to the beautiful side, because I need to do that before I actually cry again, because there's, I guess, lots of emotion around Mother's Day, is being a mother and having children allowed me to find a whole new level of love and respect for my husband. I mean, I love him so much and I care about him so deeply, but to watch him be a dad is the most amazing thing. My children adore him, and the characters that he plays, like the Tickle Monster, who they request, and like my son can't request, but when he does the Tickle Monster, my son is very, very excited and happy to watch the child come out of him in playing with them, to watch the happiness that they bring to each other. It is so incredibly awesome to watch. And I sit from the side and I go, wow, that's my husband. And he's the best dad. When he's with them and he's present and he's playing, it's so amazing. And when they're sick or when they need him, you know, when I put my daughter to bed, I never really thought so hard about what I would say to her before she goes to bed. But my husband's a thinker and he's a planner and he's very deep. And I overheard what he would say to her before going to bed one night when he's putting her to bed. And I thought, wow, because what he's saying is going to impact her for her whole life. It's not good night, sleep tight, sweet dreams, I love you. He talks about how the whole world is in her hands and how all she has to do is dream big. And he talks to her and tells her stories, and he inspires her mind and her soul in a way that I never knew that he would. And it was the most amazing thing for me to watch the first time and to overhear the first time. And so one of the things that I do when he's away is I deliver one of his messages to her and say, like Abba says, because in our family he's Abba, because we speak Hebrew at home too. So I say, like Abba says, dream big. And she says, dream big, like Abba says. And it's just, you can tell that the message is not here. The message is in here, because that's where it came from. It came from such a place of love that it actually penetrated right through her and is so meaningful to her. And I was like, wow, that is the most amazing thing that he did. And he does it every night. And I didn't even realize that he was doing it until I overheard it once. And I thought it was so important that when he's not there to deliver the message, that I still do, because it's a really important message that I think all kids should hear. And those are just the little things that I notice. And there must be so many other things that I don't even pick up on yet, or that I will see in the coming years, that will make me love him and appreciate him and respect him even more. Because it's a whole new world for us to have kids and watch them grow. And so as we're learning together, we learn about each other and we learn about ourselves. And so that's one of the things that I think is an amazing part of being a parent, is watching the other parent be a parent and play their role. It's pretty awesome. And I'm going to wrap this up with what I wish for the mothers out there, what I wish for all those children out there, and what I wish for you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mummies out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mummies who want to be mummies out there. And happy Mother's Day to all those aunties and aunties and women who don't necessarily want to be mummies or can't be mummies right now, but are playing a really important feminine role in someone's life. You're all so important. And the fact that you are giving of yourself, and that you're selfless, and that you're loving this child is so important. The unconditional love that we give to children shapes who they are for the rest of their life. The way that we build relationships with them is how they're going to view relationships for the rest of their life. It's how they perceive the entire world. Because as parents, as mothers, or as people who act as mothers, we shape how they view the entire world because we are the child's entire world for a long time. So please know that every act of love that you do, everything that comes from your heart and soul that you do for this child is meaningful, is so important, and is shaping them in the most positive and amazing way. So if we can all just keep coming from this place of love and just loving these children and giving them this love and safety and support that they need, that just sets them on the path to understanding that they are loved, that they are whole and complete, and that they can do whatever they want to do. The rest comes. The rest we can give. We can feed them with healthy foods. We can feed them with healthy messages. Those are all important things. But if we give them unconditional love and we learn to love ourselves, that is the most important thing. I wish you mothers and people acting in the role of mothers or people wishing to be mothers self-love. Take a moment to appreciate who you are. Take a moment to say thanks for who you are. And take a moment to do something that shows you that you love yourself and that shows you that you are thankful for who you are and for all that you do. Because likely you do a lot more for other people than you ever even take a second to think about yourself. So I think on this Mother's Day and every day, I would like to challenge you to do something that makes you happy. Maybe it's playing a song that makes you dance. Maybe it's lying down and taking a nap. Maybe it's eating a healthy meal. Maybe it's exercising. Maybe it's calling someone that you want to talk to. Maybe it's stepping outside, looking at the sunshine and just breathing in fresh air. Maybe it's going for a massage or getting your nails done or your hair done. Whatever that is to you, I hope you take a moment to do that because you deserve it. Because we all do. Not only moms, dads, brothers, uncles, human beings in general deserve that and need that. So take a moment, especially you hardworking mamas out there, and do something good for you. I wish you all health, happiness, and love, endless love from within and from without. I wish those children to never doubt themselves. And if they do, to prove themselves wrong and doubting themselves. I wish all those children to love themselves and to reach every goal that they set for themselves. And those goals, let them be high goals. I want them to achieve beyond their wildest dreams. I wish for every child to know that they are loved, to feel that they are loved, and to know that they are safe. I wish for every single child to be happy, to feel the pure happiness that childhood is, and to bring that into their adult life, to bring their child-like happiness and excitement into their adult life, and to fill this world with sunshine and love and life, because that's what it really needs. And to every single viewer, whether you're a mom, a child, a teenager, a father, an uncle, or a cousin, whoever you are, I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for watching. Like I said, self-love is so important, and coming from a place of love is so important. So on this Mother's Day, whether you're in contact with your mom, whether you are a mom, or whether you know a mom, just let them know that you appreciate all that they do, and send them love. I'm sending you guys all so much love. Love, love, love seems to be the word of this video. But thank you again for watching, and have a wonderful, fantastic, loving, amazing, happy Mother's Day. Mwah.